Hello children, welcome back again to EDUHUNT classes. In the previous video, we discussed regarding the classification of soluble bases or alkalis on the basis of strength into strong bases and weak bases respectively. Okay. In this particular video, we are going to continue the classification of bases regarding on the basis of concentration and acidity as well. So here in this video, full regarding the concentration and the acidity classification, we are going to do it. Okay, shall we start the session? Yes. Okay, on the basis of concentration of an okay, here we go with the heading. The second classification on the basis of concentration of a base or an alkali. Okay, here we go. So upon this, how we are going to classify regarding on the basis of concentration. Children, concentration in the sense it is giving the amount of water content. Okay, so over there we can write like this: the measure of amount of water, okay, present in the given sample of an alkali, okay, is called concentration. Is called concentration. So if I give you a sample of an alkali, if I ask you to test it regarding how much water is present in that particular content of the alkali, sample alkali, that is nothing but its concentration. Okay, once again, the measure of amount of water content present in the given sample of an alkali is called its concentration. Very good. So based upon this, it is classified into two main types. What are they? First one is regarding, what is that? Yeah, very good. Concentrated alkali. Concentrated alkali. And the next one will be, what is that? Dilute alkali. Dilute alkali. Children, you know how to represent this? In the laboratory, we represent on the particular bottle as small conc dot acid. Sorry, base. Okay. And for diluted, small dil dot the base of the particular, the name of the base. Okay. So here after the representation of the particular thing. Okay. Now here we will do the classification with the following name and the definition. Okay. Clear? Okay. Here we go with the definition of what is concentrated alkali called as. Okay. Okay. Is it okay or shall I write anything? Giving big one. Okay. Okay, writing that only. Okay. Dilute DAL, small dl dot base. Okay. So further upon, okay. Now the definitions of the concentrated alkali and the dilute alkali or dilute base. Okay. Here we go with the concentrated base or concentrated alkali. Okay. And now it is dilute base or dilute alkali. Okay. Now the definitions of this: a sample of a base which contains less amount of water, or simply no water in it. Okay, no water in it in the given sample, and that is considered as called as concentrated base or concentrated alkali. Okay, did you understand? So if I gave you a sample to be tested, children, whether it is a base, concentrated base or concentrated alkali or dilute base or dilute alkali. Okay, so if I gave a sample regarding the beaker, if I ask you to test it, what is the amount of water present in it? If you observe, there is a very little amount of water present in it, or else we can say less water, or else no water sometimes, and that is called as concentrated base or concentrated alkali, which means it is very pure. If it is not mixed with any other water, it is pure. Okay, if it is having less amount of water, or we can say very little amount of water, what is that? Less or very little amount of water, that is called as concentrated base or concentrated alkali. Okay, now what about the dilute base or dilute alkali? Same definition goes like this: a sample of a base which contains, up to here it is okay, but here in the concentrated base we wrote very little or less amount of water present in it. What about here? Yes, here it present more in condition, more water in condition. Okay, so a sample of a base which contains a far more amount of water, than its own weight, in the sense the weight of a particular base. Okay, than its own weight is called dilute base or dilute alkali. Dilute base or dilute alkali. Okay, so simply if I want to write regarding this, children, the concentrated base will have more amount of base with less amount of or very little amount of water. Okay, but here if you observe, the base content is very little, in the sense sometimes it is having more water than complete of the weight of the base. Okay, so more water, less base. Here it is less water, more base. So this is the actual definition of the particular concentrated base or concentrated alkali with dilute base or dilute alkali. Okay, this is a given clear cut definitions. Okay, here what happens, the definitions of concentrated base goes like this: a sample which contain less or very little amount of water, or simply no water in it, which means it is a pure base. It is called as a concentrated base or concentrated alkali. Okay, here a sample of a base which contains, very good, far more amount of water, or we can say more in with the particular weight of its own base. Okay, far more amount of water than its own weight is called as its dilute alkali. Okay, so this is very important regarding the definition and the representation like this, children. In the concentrated base we have more amount of base with less amount of water, and here less amount of base with more amount of water. Okay, this is the easy remembering with the concentrated and dilute bases. Okay, so here we have one more important point to be noted. In the next page I'll do it. For the dilute base, or else let me write here only. Okay, yeah. For the dilute base, one more point I'll note here. Okay, for dilute base, I'll give an example how to just do it. Okay, for example, there is an alkali solution. Okay, there is an alkali solution having concentration less than 1 mole per liter. What is that, children? 1 mole per liter is considered as dilute alkali. Okay, so wherever you see the word of the particular concentration is having less than 1 mole per liter, it is called as dilute alkali. It is called as dilute alkali. For example, for more detailed one, I will have the examples also here. See, if I represent the example regarding the dilute, if it is, for example, 0.2 mole per liter, then it can say it is a dilute alkali. If it is having 0.4 mole per liter, the concentration is only 0.4 mole per liter, it is dilute. Because why? If the value is less than 1 mole per liter, we can call it as dilute alkali. Then what about concentrated? If it is having more than 1 mole per liter, we consider it as what? Concentrated alkali. Okay, for example, 1.4 mole per liter, it is concentrated alkali. Okay, if it is 1.2 mole per liter, it is concentrated alkali. Because why? It is having the value more than 1 mole per liter. No, that's the reason. It is less than 1 mole per liter. So all these things you will have in the particular bit section. In the worksheet bits, you will find out there the concentration of particular strong, in the sense the concentrated alkali or concentrated base will have more than 1 mole per liter, whereas coming with the dilute alkali or dilute base, it is less than 1 mole per liter. Okay, these examples for particular given conditions of concentrations. Okay, and further examples we can write, like identification into, for concentrated base or concentrated alkali, we can write as just simple examples. Examples include concentrated NaOH, concentrated KOH. That's it. Okay. The examples for dilute, in the sense it is having diluted NaOH and dilute KOH. The base is same, children. If you mix more amount of water, it will be dilute. If you mix very little amount of water, no water in it, concentrated. That's it. The bases are same. Okay. But based upon this amount of water only, we are going to classify into concentrated and weak, but not in the strength of strong and weak. Okay. Because based upon the concentration and the the base of the amount of water present in it, the measurement, with that we are concentrating into concentrated alkali and dilute alkali. Okay, clear? This is all about the concentration of the base regarding the on the basis of concentration of soluble bases or alkalis. Okay, and next is coming with the on the basis of acidity. Thank you.